for a YouTube video. And I have a fun little fun fold. It's real easy. And so that's awesome. Let me be sure that I'm transmitilating over here. Still says waiting. So time for you to catch up, YouTube, because I'm here, baby. All right. It looks like we're making things happen. Hey, Bree, appreciate you joining me today. Hope you're having a great week. All right. So here's the card. I saw this on one of my downlines blogs, and she posted it on our team page as well, this fold. I believe she calls it a crisscross fold, and it's kind of fun. It looks like it's real complicated. You open it up, and you can see it's kind of even fun from the backside. So I think this is fun, and I can assure you there's only one thing that's complicated about it, and I'm going to show you that so that you can be prepared for it. Hi, Faith. Hi, Shelly. Hi, Marva. Appreciate you guys joining. All right. So, as I said, I used the Eden's Garden set for the sentiment and one of the leaf images. And then I've also used the small die-cut leaf. And one of my very favorite things, and y'all, this is in the annual catalog. It is one of the dies that is on sale. If you don't have scalloped contours, and actually, if you don't have Stitch So Sweetly, you really should just get those two things if you got nothing else during the seasonal sale, because they are amazing. They are my go-to sets. Stitch So Sweetly, scalloped contours. Just get the dies while they're on sale, and that sale goes off today. So let's go ahead and get started here. Hi, Amy. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Karen. Hi, Victoria from coastal North Carolina. Kakalaki, North Kakalaki. Hey, Lenny. All right, so I made this in kind of an interesting color scheme. I was playing along with the paper players, and I'm hoping they're going to forgive me for the evening evergreen. It's very dark, so it's almost like black. So I just had to put a little bit of color. But to make this fun fold, you do actually need the stylus on your score tool. So there we go. I have just a 4 1/4 by 11 piece. This is your card base, so whatever color that you want. Hey, Barbara. You're going to just score it at 5 1/2, almost as if it was a completely regular card. Which, I mean, you know, basically it is. Then you're going to take your trimmer. You're going to move your card pieces out of the way. And what we're going to do, so imagine if you will, a world in which peanuts had no calories. Okay, so basically, if you imagine this is our card, what we're going to do is we're going to make this cut right here and save that cutoff piece, okay? So if I turn that over, I can see that what I'm going to want to do is do a cut like so, yeah? Okay, so we're just going to stick the top corner up in the little groove, and it's actually kind of handy because you can kind of brace it against those two little guard doohickeys right there. So we put the corner in the channel up at the top, and then down at the bottom, you just want to put the scored line that you just made, and then we're going to cut just like that. Hang on to this piece because it is the other half of the card. Hi, Judy. Hi, Susan. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, Sylvia. Appreciate you joining. You know, girl, we are so close. It is time for us to get together in person. We need to have lunch or something, do something. I don't have many teammates around, and I would like to have lunch with somebody. Or stamp, or, you know, something like that. Okay, so can you now see where we're at? All right, so we're just going to go ahead and fold this over like so. Get our bone folder. It appears that my trimming blade is wanting to be replaced, so whenever you have your trimming blade start to get a little bit dull, you will see it starts to kind of rough up the edges a little bit. So I always have my handy little, this is thanks to Mr. Tim Holtz. I always have my little sander handy. Okay. No. Hey, Danette. Hello, honeybee. Alrighty, so I told you that there was a hardish part, and we're getting to that, okay? So this is what's basically going to happen here. We're going to adhere these together to create a card front. But before we do that, we're going to make our mat and our DSPs. And I have picked 2 pieces of Peaceful Place. The only place that this is hard is if you select a DSP that has an up and down. And then you got to use some, you know, spatial spatial thinking to not special thinking, spatial thinking to be sure that you make your diagonal triangles in the correct direction. Okay, so I'm going to put this on this way, and I want my wood grain to go like that. So I'm going to cut across like this. And this one, it turns out, has no up or down, so I will just cut it. And then I have a piece of evening evergreen for the mat. Now, let me show you this. These are different sizes than normal. The mat is the same size that I usually use, so 4 inches by 4 1/4. For a regular card front, this would be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. But when you're making the diagonal, it works much, much better. Hey, Karen from Scotland. Appreciate you joining. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Jean. It works much, much better if you take a full 1/4 inch off. So this is a 3 3/4 by 5 inch piece, the DSPs are. So 4 by 5 1/4 for the mat and 3 3/4 by 5 for the DSP. This will all be on my blog tomorrow. I'm only telling you that because it just seemed like the right thing to do. So we'll pull the trimmer back out, and I'm going to cut my mat, just one mat because the other one goes on the inside, just from corner to corner. Pretty straightforward, corner to corner, like so. Okay. And then remember, this one is going to go this direction. So I'm just putting this in like it matters on this one, just so that you can kind of see that it helps to put it on the card front piece, if that made sense. Okay, so I know that it goes on this one. So here's the set for this panel. And then this one is going to go like this. Okay, so if you just kind of lay it out so that you can see it before you cut, you will have done yourself a great service. Okay, so now I know I want to go from this corner to this corner. So that's how I'm going to put it into my trimmer. Okay. All right. So we'll put that there. I'll get my trimmer out the way, get my extra pieces out of the way, because I could actually use these on a second card, it looks like. See, I could make a whole nother one of these with my leftovers. Not always true when you have directional paper. Might be cutting track that needs cleaning. Could be, especially true. That could be true. I don't see any in there, and I rug it around enough, you know, where it turns upside down, but it's very valid that that could be a thing. All right, so I'm just going to use liquid glue. I do like to use liquid glue on any kind of fun fold thing, especially something like this where I'm trying to really line up cuts that are a little bit different than normal, like these little triangular areas. Okay, and then this is going to go on this panel right here. Like so. So this is very simple. What's kind of cool about, I'm a big fan of fun folds that look really hard. And only you know, and so it's like, you know, in the commercial where the lady cuts the tube of cookies up and makes cookies, and she makes cookies all day, and then she poofs her face with the flour. That's kind of how I feel when I make these kinds of card cuts. It's like, oh yes, it was very, very difficult. You just really, nobody but I could have made this card because of how hard it is. Hello from France, Sarah. Appreciate you coming. Scotland and France. I'm very happy that you're here. Thank you so much for watching. All right, so this one is going on here. Now, there are many designs in the Peaceful Place paper that I could have used. I could have made it much more Christmassy looking, right? But I didn't want Christmassy. I wanted kind of basic. A card that could be any occasion. And when we get to the inside, you'll see it doesn't even have an inside sentiment because I might want to add something different later. You don't know. That way it's all handy and stuff. or I'll send it to a customer as one of their part of their ordering gift, and they can make it into whatever they want. All right, so there we go. Okay, watch this. This is amazing. You're going to be just amazed how this works. I'm going to put some liquid glue, not like I almost did. This is going to be adhered like so. All right, so we really only want glue right in here. So what I did on my first one, and recommend because it's really cool, it's a sign for Vienna. See, it is exactly right. It is exactly right. I think it's a sign. Amy, it's a sign. Okay, I'm going to take a pencil and I'm just going to mark very lightly right here along the back panel. So I'm not even sure that you can actually even see that, but I can. And so I know I want glue in this area only. All right. If you put glue other places, you're going to be, you know, pulling it apart. So I'm just going to put a little glue here. And the nice thing about the glue is, well, I mean, it's the up and the down of the glue, is that you don't need a lot because it's going to squish out, but it's also going to squish out. So you do have to be a little careful. But it is absolutely, in my opinion, you can use what you like, but for this kind of a thing, it's absolutely the right way to go so that you have a little bit of wiggle room. Because you really want the bottom of that cut to be right on the bottom of the card front, and this edge to be lined up with the edge of the card front, because otherwise your recipient is going to be able to see very quickly how you did this. And right now you want it to be like, ooh, I have no idea how she did that. Oh, now I see. So as soon as they open it, you know, the surprise is gone. The jig is up. The secret is out. But until then, you're good to go. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to real quick like a bunny make the inside of the card. And all I did here, perfect. I actually think this would be a pretty decent man card. I really do. I mean, I don't think it's near froofy enough to not be good for a guy. I really don't. I took one of the smaller leaves from the Eden's Garden and I just inked it with Evening Evergreen and stamped it in the corner of a basic white panel. I know it. I love this DSP. I love, love, love. And then adhered it to an Evening Evergreen mat. And as I am doing this right this instant, I am realizing I forgot a die cut. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I like to call save cardstock. I'm going to take this die right here from the Eden dies, and I'm going to cut out of the center of my, actually I'm going to go towards one edge because I want it out of where I'm going to, right, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Normally I would not do this with the inside mat because it does create a little bit of a divot where the die cut was, but it will be fine. It will be fine. All right, I just needed one of these because I forgot to cut it. Hey Debbie, appreciate you joining. So I just wanted to be sure I had that. I like to save cardstock when I can. I don't know why. Are you guys taking advantage of the cardstock sale? I mean, seriously, I went crazy with the cardstock sale. I looked at my whole stash, and if I had less than half a pack, I bought cardstock. I was like, man, they will not do this kind of a good sale again. I don't even know when. So that's what I did. Okay, so now I'm putting this deliberately where that die cut is under more or less the bottom of this panel, so that when I write my message on there, I don't have to be writing across that little hump, because it doesn't take much for my writing to become messy anyway. Just saying, because I'm kind of a messy writer. Alrighty. Are you going to sing Vienna for us? Well, I do have a wide repertoire of Sound of Music songs, and I figure if Amy and I go to Vienna or to Austria, we'll go see Salzburg as well. And I feel it would be, well, I don't want to say appropriate. What I want to say is more like mandatory that I sing a few selections from the musical while we're there to Amy, because it's her favorite musical ever. And so I feel like she would want to hear it. Don't you think? I mean, just seriously, don't you think? Okay. All right, so that's in now. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to take my little pieces. I've got some die cuts ahead. I stamped Hello There from Eden's Garden on another piece of the Peaceful Place DSP. And then I cut it with the, have I mentioned how often I use scallop contours? I used this smallest die to cut that pretty die cut out. And then I used the single leaf from the Eden dies to cut 4 silver from the silver, what's it called? The silver pack, the specialty pack that's in the mini catalog. And I also have some, hey Diane, hi Diana. There will be no singing if we go. Oh, there's just, you know, something about song. It's just something that you kind of break into spontaneously. And if I see hills and they appear to be alive while we're there, I have no control. I'm sorry. It will just happen. So just bring your earplugs. All right. I have got some black glittered organdy ribbon, and we're going to use that and then pile this up and some leaves. So basically my ribbon is going to be just about the same length as that pretty little die cut. Oh, I can't even wait to sing. Maybe we'll sit on the steps in Salzburg and I will teach Amy. Sorry, I'm just laughing at the very thought of teaching Amy the scales by teaching her the Do Re Mi song. It's gonna be awesome. I can already tell. People are gonna be like, who are those fools on the Salzburg steps? Wait a minute, I'm cracking myself up. All right, so I'm going to place this right here, and basically I'm going to put the bottom of the die right at the little crooks there. So I'm just going to put a little liquid glue on the ends. Oh, I've got myself completely cracked up now. Okay. I can't even wait. And I hope if we get to go that we get to go to the Hoflinger breeding, and I don't really know where that is. I'll have to find it, but I hope we get to go. That would be cool. And I came up with a really great idea yesterday all by myself, well, with the help of our vet tech. I hope if we go, we might even get to go to Ireland. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so now I'm just going to adhere some of these silver leaves like so. Now, I would have done a dry fit if this was my first time, but it's not. So I'm just really using my my sample. So I see where these want to go, so that's kind of where I'm putting them, right? But I did multiple dry fits until I got the positioning down that I wanted. So don't hurry. Take your time to do that. All right. And we're just going to adhere that right there. There you go. See, Jean, you need to go so that you can sing with us, or, you know, listen to us and laugh at us and take pictures and post them to Stampin' Up. And you can make it #goofballs. I think it's going to be awesome. Yes, I hope we get to go. That would be such a fun trip. It would be a nice consolation after not getting to go on the cruise this year, or next year, I guess it is. I'm getting my years mixed up. Okay, so I have those all laid down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a couple of 3 glue dots. Where's my glue dots? I'm going to put some glue dots across there. I don't know why I'm saying glue dots like I'm goofy. Well, probably because I am goofy. So we have a pony who obviously has decided to stick a sticker in her eyeball. And we thought it would go away, but it didn't. So yesterday, it was time to have the vet again, and we heard the second most dreaded, you know, the most dreaded words that an animal owner hears. Yes, Miss Deathridge, I need you to give your cat this giant pill 4 times a day. That's the kind of words that strike dread and fear in my heart, and in most people who own a cat or are owned by cats. But the next most frightening thing to hear is, here you go, Ms. Deathridge. Here's 2 tubes of ointment. You need to put this in your pony's eye 4 times a day. Both tubes, one of each. You need to dose her with 2 tubes of ointment 4 times a day for, just 2 weeks. Oh my goodness. Yes, it strikes fear because it can be so stinking hard. Okay, so I've got my 2 lengths of the black organdy ribbon, and I am just adhering them across those glue dots. And I'll put another couple for the second go. But so far she's been pretty good. It does take 2 of us. And it's really, the worst part sometimes is just getting her back up because she's out, of course. But we went out today and I called him up. And all of a sudden I heard her whinnying. And here she comes, her and her mom on the fly. And when they got close, they stopped like, oh, this looks like a trap. And so I rustled my peppermint wrapper. And here she came, galloping up to me. And then we caught her and she was like, oh, I should have known it was a trap. All right, so now I'm going to take a couple of dimensionales and I'm going to put them across this ribbon to hold my sentimente. And I might get another one. Let me find another strip. Do I have another strip cut? Do I have? Yes, I do. Okay. Whew. I know, it's such a pain in the butt. It really is. So, because also, of course, you've got breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then you got to go back out at like 9 o'clock to put the last dose in. The only upside of that is at least she's in the stall. And we're pretty good about bribing with peppermint, so she won't suffer too much. All right, so now I have my dimensionals on, and I'm just going to center this on the card front and hopefully over all of my die cuts and ribbon, and hopefully it will also be straight. Now, once I know where it is, I'm just going to take another dimensional or 2, or maybe, maybe 4, I don't know, and pull the covers off. This is why it's helpful to have tweezers, at least in Mary's world it is, and just slide it under the corner there so that you've got it down. I'm kind of with Tanner. There are never enough dimensionals. Tanner is one of our demonstrator development managers at Stampin' Up. And he did a presentation at our onstage, and he is like I am. If 5 dimensionals are good, 17 is obviously better. All right, so there we go. And there is our card front. I'm going to go ahead and put an Evening Evergreen gem or 3 on my sentiment. Like so. And then we'll do our envelope and we'll be done-ske. There, what do you think? And then on the inside, you just open it up. And yes, you can see the back, but it's not bad. I mean, there's way worse. I've seen way worse things in my life. Although I don't like that dimensional right there, so I'm moving it out the way. There. Okay. There's way worse backs than that. And having that front be like that, I think is definitely worth it. So there we go. Is it straight? Yeah, it's straight. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and make us a envelope. Girl probably won't stay so gullible. I know. See, that's the trick. Tomorrow, she'll probably still be catchable, but by the 3rd day, she'll be like, I'm on to you guys. And I'm not. What we'll see is whether the lure of a peppermint remains enough. When we had to do Sarah, like years ago, she let us do it for about 3 days. And then she said, yeah, no, I'm on to you. I gotcha. So we had to have him back out, and he put this thing in so that we could squirt medicine without having to touch her eyeball, which had its own set of... Basically, you really don't want your horse to have a problem with their eye because it is a total pain in the hindquarters. Total pain in the hindquarters. And, of course, your brain is going, are they going to be blind? I mean, she's not going to be blind, but you think that it could happen, right? Thank you, Melissa. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Diana. Thanks, Karen and Judy. And Diana, yes, she is the rambunctious child. So if anybody's going to get herself, she's the same one that 3 days before we were supposed to go to Maui, she showed up at the gate for dinner with a big old flap of skin hanging off, where she had managed to find the one screw sticking out somewhere in the 30 acres and tear it open like, I know you're trying to go on vacation, but let's do this today. So yeah, she's kind of a piss ringer, but I love her because she's just flat fun. She's just flat fun. All right, and so we're just going to put some of that beautiful heathery buffalo plaid from Peaceful Place on there and give that a little, yes, Diana, oh no, that was at least part of what I said. Because the way it worked is that was the same day, that morning, the vet had been out to clear us, to tell us that Sarah was okay enough after the big choking incident of 2021, told us that she was okay enough that we could go on the trip. And so we'd already had the vet that morning, and that afternoon we had to have her back. And I was like, okay, is God trying to tell us that we shouldn't go to Hawaii? I don't know. It could be. It's possible. But he wasn't, and we had a wonderful, wonderful trip. All right, so there we go. This is a Criss-Cross card, and it's super easy. Only uses the one piece of cardstock, just like a regular card base, and some DSP, and you're ready to roll. And if you do your cuts with the non-directional paper, you can get 2 cards out of, 2 regular card front size pieces of DSP. All right. Are these workhorses? No, they just fainted in the pasture because I even said such a word. They are Hoflinger ponies, and they both have been driven in the past, but now they have earned their days of leisure, which means I'm just too lazy anymore. So I take care of them, and I feed them, and I clean their stalls, and I ply them with peppermints and nose kisses, and they are essentially pets. Alrighty. Okay, guys, I think he's saying you need to go to Austria and Ireland. I agree, Karen. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all. What is this today? Thursday? So I hope I will see you on Saturday evening for our Facebook Live video. And then we're going to have to address what we're going to do next week. I think we won't do this on Thursday next week because isn't there like a big dinner thing happening next Thursday? So we'll kind of address that as we go through the rest of the week. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on Saturday. Don't forget the seasonal sale. And if you're thinking about joining it all, today is the day to do it. Holler at me. See ya. Bye.